Hello, welcome back. It's good to have you guys here. Today we're going to talk about preparing for a job interview, preparation. So another thing that's helpful is to bring examples of your work. Use the power of the printed page to your advantage. Most job seekers fail to do this when preparing for a job interview. This one job interview tip alone will set you apart from the different candidates. So here's the idea. Some job seekers bring a copy of their most recent written evaluation to the interview. And obviously you should only do this if it's a great evaluation, if it's outstanding. So the power of the printed word is powerful here. So if you share your strengths with your interviewer, it's duly noted. They understand that this is one of your strengths. But if one of your bosses said those things about you and you got it on paper, now it's gospel, right? It's the truth. You can't dispute it. So it's a great way to prove yourself. Another great example of your work is any charts or graphs that illustrate how you specifically handled the company time and money, saved them money and time, and how you even maybe made the company money. These are only a few things that we can talk about. We have a lot more, in, like I said, in our other YouTube channel. We got a lot more stuff to go on. So here's another one that is very, very important to remember, and this is towards the end of the interview. Do you have any questions for me? And it's very close to the end, and it's one of the questions that needs to be addressed. And this doesn't matter if it's the first, second, third interview. You've got to answer these questions every time and have questions prepared. Do you have any questions? You have to have them prepared. Around 75% of job seekers will say, no, that's everything. I got it. I don't need to answer that. Oh my goodness, that's a terrible response. This question gives you a fantastic opportunity to stand out from the crowd, and it shows your knowledge and passion for the company and the organization you are interviewing for. You always need to have a few questions prepared and have one based around something you found during your company research phase. Again, the company research phase is so important. This will show your passion and knowledge for the company. And if they ask you anything after that, just focus your questions on the company and what you can do for them. Employers really care about questions that you ask in the interview because it really shows your engagement, shows your curiosity, and it shows that you came prepared. And here's a few questions that work. You can use these. What will my day-to-day in this role look like? What are some of the major challenges faced by this company? What does the training period for this role look like? This kind of gives you an idea of what the role is that the company would like you to be in, or how you could help contribute to the company and to the team starting from the very first day you're working. And it really could give you an idea of what skills you should have prepared versus what they're going to be teaching you. And some of the hardest questions most people ask in an interview are the ones about policy and salary, just because they're really sensitive questions to ask. But it's also important to ask these questions. They need to be asked, but the way you need to ask them is to try to get the full picture. And you know exactly what you're getting in your package, so you need to know them. But there's a time to do that. There's a time to ask those, and it is not on the first interview. Never ask these on the first interview because you don't have the job yet. They haven't offered it to you yet. So there will be a time in the interview process in which those questions will be great to answer. Again, I have to emphasize, never say, no, thanks, I'm good, when they ask you, do you have any questions? Always have questions ready. Don't focus your questions on yourself and what you can get from them. Don't ask questions that could easily be answered by something you found in your research. Don't ask about time off or benefits too early in the process. And don't ask how soon you can start applying for other positions in the company. Now, what do you do to prepare for an interview? This is in the beginning, before everything already we talked about. Let's talk about what to expect. First of all, everyone would like to make it past the first interview, of course. But if you don't, keep trying. You'll do better next time. Just keep practicing and practicing. There are a lot of people trying out for these jobs. You will be successful. So the tips we're talking about today and the tricks will help you. And the job market is getting tougher and tougher. And if you use these tips, your chances will improve. You'd be surprised how many people don't use these things. And it gives you an advantage over your competition because they don't use them. So let's talk about being punctual, but not too early. Eager as you may be to show the hiring manager what you've got, who you are, your timely arrival could be doing more harm than good. So leave yourself about an hour to get ready and an hour to commute just in case anything crazy happens. And arrive at the office with plenty of time to spare to show you're punctual and prepared. And since you know exactly where you are and where you're going and you have time for the interview, you're going to exude ease and confidence. When you step out of the car or walk from the train station to the building, the interviewers may be watching you. Now, this is true. Now, I used to own a gym a few years back, and I used to have in the gym, in the front of the gym, we had these big picture windows, and you could see everything that's going on. And so our parking was in front, just along the street, but our main parking was across the street. And so I could watch everybody that parked, and I could see who was coming across the street, whether they were a gym member. And when I put an ad in the paper to hire somebody, I could see them coming across the street. And so it's true. People watch who's coming into the building. Unless you're on Zoom, and it's a Zoom meeting. And if your interview is on Zoom, then that's another story. And we're going to talk about that in another YouTube channel. So how you carry yourself is important. This means that you wear an outfit that needs minimal to no adjusting or tugging or any other distracting fixes. Your outfit fits you well and you feel comfortable in it. Also make sure that the portfolio, if you bring a portfolio, and I highly recommend bringing a portfolio you have, is neat and organized. If you aren't feeling confident or smooth, fake it. Act like you are. So repeat to yourself in your head, not out loud, that you are confident. You keep doing that over and over, and soon you will be. Your brain doesn't know the difference. You tell it you're confident, and you will be. Walk with purpose and direction. And don't talk on your cell phone as you are walking into the building. Just don't. Plan to get to the interview site or near it about 20 or 30 minutes early, so you still have a buffer of time in case anything happens, or time to collect your thoughts and mentally prepare. But don't go inside the office just yet. Instead, sit in your car or Starbucks across the street until there's 5 or 10 minutes before the interview or before game time. So when you walk into the lobby, you are calm and collected. You'll still be on time and you'll look responsible, but without sitting around the office awkwardly for 20 minutes or so. Do not bring coffee or Starbucks. Do not bring your own coffee from home. It's very, very informal. Before you get to the interview office, make sure your phone is off. You do not need to have your phone ring or messages going off during the interview. Oh, this shows it's just so unprofessional. And during the interview, don't continue to look at your watch. If you look at your watch, it gives the signal that you think that they think you might need to go somewhere, or you have somewhere more important to be. Besides, the interview is only going to be about 30 or 45 minutes. You can wait. That's for the first interview anyway. You know, you can get those answer those questions or the phone later. So first impressions are very important, and when meeting someone for the first time, we instantaneously make up our minds in various aspects of their personality. Remember, we only have 4 or 5 seconds to make a lasting impression on whoever we meet. It doesn't matter. Your next job, your job interviewer, your future wife, your future husband, 4 or 5 seconds. That's it. So prepare and plan for the first impression long before you walk into the door. Continue that excellent impression in the days to follow, and that job could be yours. So therefore, never arrive late. Use positive body language and turn your charm on right from the start. Look fabulous. Make sure you look your best. Start the interview with a handshake. Give a nice firm handshake. and then some up and down movements. Determined to establish a rapport with the interviewer right from the start. Always let the interviewer finish speaking before you give your response. Express yourself fluently and clearly with precision. Anyway, thanks. Appreciate you guys. I hope you like that. It's another lesson in our careers. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. And don't forget to subscribe. We look forward to more information. Have a great day. Ciao.